Welcome back to Mighty Habits, everyone. I'm Steven, and with me today is Mary.
Hi, everyone.
We're going to do a deep dive today on, actually a concept from a book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And this is all about the personal legend.
Yes.
So, Mary, what are your thoughts on this whole personal legend thing?
Well, this book is not just some feel-good self-help manual. It's actually a story that really dives deep into the challenges and also the triumphs of chasing your dreams.
So how do we even figure out, what our personal legend is?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. One of the key takeaways from The Alchemist is that our personal legends are not just given to us. We actually discover them through our experiences, through
Right.
choices we make, and also by paying attention to what Coelho calls omens.
Omens, now we're talking. What exactly are those?
So omens are like the universe's way of nudging you in the right direction.
Okay.
It could be like a chance encounter, or a symbol you keep seeing,
Yeah.
or even a gut feeling that just won't go away. So in the book, Santiago, the main character, keeps seeing this symbol of a scarab beetle. And at first, he kind of just dismisses it, but then he realizes that it's actually a really significant signpost on his journey.
So it's more about being aware.
Yeah, than being superstitious.
Exactly. It's about developing
Yeah.
a sense of awareness
Okay.
and being sensitive to
Yeah.
the whispers of the universe.
Now, one thing I noticed about The Alchemist was how much it emphasized the journey itself.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where I think this book's wisdom really shines through. You know, in the beginning, Santiago thinks his personal legend is all about getting to the pyramids in Egypt.
Okay.
But as he goes through these challenges and setbacks, he starts to realize that the real treasure is actually in the lessons he learns and the person he becomes along the way.
So it's almost like those challenges are actually helping us.
Precisely. Think about a time in your own life when you faced a major obstacle or setback. When you look back on that, was it the smooth sailing times? Were those moments of struggle that really shaped you the most? Oh, for sure. It was those tough times. That really forced me to dig deep and figure out what I was made of. It wasn't fun going through them, but looking back, I wouldn't trade them for anything. They taught me resilience, resourcefulness, and most importantly, they helped me discover strengths that I didn't even know I had.
And isn't that what the journey of discovering your personal legend is all about?
Yeah.
Embracing the unexpected, learning from your mistakes, and allowing those experiences to refine and shape you into the person you're meant to be.
So how does that process of self-discovery actually lead us to our personal legend?
It's kind of like putting together a puzzle.
Yeah.
Each experience, each challenge, each interaction we have, it's like finding another piece.
Yes.
Some pieces fit together easily, some take more effort, and some may seem like they don't belong at all. But as we gather more pieces, the bigger picture starts to emerge.
I like that analogy. It's about piecing together those clues and trusting that eventually we'll be able to see the full picture of what our personal legend is all about.
And sometimes those clues come in the form of unexpected encounters.
Like mentors.
Yes, The Alchemist really highlights the importance of those mentors and guides along the way.
It reminds me of the old king, Melchizedek.
Exactly. He just kind of magically appears right when Santiago is
Yeah.
scouting his path and gives him that nudge. He needs to keep going.
So it's not just about solo introspection. It's also about being open to guidance.
Absolutely. Sometimes we need that outside perspective.
This whole conversation is reminding me of that powerful line from the book. You are the author of your own story.
Such a simple statement, but so profound. It reminds us that we have the power to choose the direction of our lives, to shape our own narratives, and to ultimately become the heroes of our own stories.
Much more empowering than feeling like a passive bystander.
Precisely.
It's about taking ownership and recognizing that our choices and actions are the brushstrokes that create the masterpiece of our lives.
That brings us to another crucial aspect of uncovering your personal legend, listening to that inner voice, that intuition that guides you towards your truth.
So how do we distinguish that inner voice from all the other noise?
It takes practice. It's about cultivating a sense of stillness, quiet reflection, learning to tune out that external chatter, and to tune in to that deeper wisdom that resides within each of us.
So it's like developing a muscle.
Exactly. The more we exercise that muscle, the stronger it becomes and the more reliable it becomes. It's not just about listening, though. It's about acting on what you hear in the book. Santiago is always facing these crossroads where he has to make these difficult choices. And he often has to base them on gut feelings or intuition
Right.
rather than logic.
So what happens when we hit those roadblocks?
Yeah, those moments
Yeah.
are part of the journey. The alchemist doesn't pretend that it's always going to be easy. There will be challenges, there will
Right.
be setbacks, and there will be times when you question everything.
So how do we keep moving forward when we feel that fear?
One of the recurring themes in the book is that fear is often a bigger obstacle than the actual challenges.
Interesting.
Remember when Santiago first arrives in Tangier and he's robbed of everything?
Oh, yeah.
It's devastating, but it forces him to confront those fears and find a new way forward.
It's like he had to lose everything to gain everything.
Exactly. That's where trusting the journey becomes even more important,
Oh.
the alchemist suggests. That even those setbacks can lead us in the right direction.
If we're willing to learn from them.
Yeah, it's all about shifting your perspective.
So instead of seeing challenges as failures,
Yeah.
we can see them as opportunities.
Exactly. Remember when Santiago works for the crystal merchant for
Right.
almost a year? He felt frustrated, but he learned valuable lessons
Yeah.
about patience and perseverance.
So sometimes those detours lead us to discoveries we could never have imagined.
Exactly.
So it's not always about resisting the unexpected, but about surrendering to the flow of life.
That brings us to another concept from The Alchemist, embracing the present moment. Santiago is constantly reminded to focus on the now.
So how do we cultivate that state of presence?
One way is by paying attention to your surroundings. Notice the little things.
Okay.
Appreciate the simple things.
But what about when we feel lost, confused?
The alchemist acknowledges that doubt is a natural part of the experience. Even Santiago feels doubt, but what sets him apart is his willingness to keep moving forward.
So it's not about getting rid of doubt, but about moving through it.
Exactly.
And that's where we discover our potential.
The alchemist reminds us that our personal legends are often found in unexpected places.
You know, we tend to think of failure as a negative thing, but maybe it's just another form of feedback.
That's a great way to look at it. In The Alchemist, Santiago experiences many failures, but they all contribute to his growth.
It's all about embracing the learning process.
And remembering there's no one right way to find your personal legend.
It's about honoring our unique paths. It reminds me of that line from the book. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
It's a powerful reminder of the power of intention and belief.
So when we align ourselves
Yeah.
with our true purpose, the universe supports us. It's about trusting that the universe has our back.
In remembering that this journey is a lifelong adventure.
Not a destination.
Right.
So it's not about
Yeah.
reaching some endpoint,
Right.
but about continuously evolving.
Beautifully put, The Alchemist reminds us that the real treasure is in the journey itself.
Wow, this has been an incredibly insightful conversation. I feel like we just scratched the surface of this book.
It's a book that really stays with you. The themes of, purpose, courage, following your dreams really resonate with people.
So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to discover their own personal legend, what advice would you give?
Start by asking yourself, what brings you joy? What activities make you feel completely absorbed and energized?
It's like tapping into that inner spark.
Exactly. Once you've identified those things that light you up, start exploring them further.
Okay.
Take a class, read a book, talk to people who are passionate about it.
So it's about taking action,
Right.
even if it's just small steps.
And don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens when we push past our limits. Mary, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
It's been a pleasure, Stephen. Always fun to talk about these things.
If you want to learn more, we highly recommend the book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
It could change your life.
And remember, you don't have to go on this journey alone. Be sure to subscribe to Mighty Habits for more deep dives. Let us know what you think. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep listening to that inner voice that guides you toward your true north.